Do you know why so many learners struggle with English even after months of study? Because they make simple mistakes in the way they learn. Today, we're going to talk about the most common learning mistakes that beginners make, why they are mistakes, why the correct way works better, and how you can fix them easily. I'm James, I'm 25 years old, I live in London, and I'm learning English just like you. Let's dive in and make your learning faster, easier, and more fun. The first big mistake many learners make is focusing only on grammar. They study rules, tenses, and lists of verbs, but they do not practice listening or speaking. For example, a student may spend hours memorizing past tense forms, but never use them in real sentences. Why is this a mistake? Because learning grammar without using it is like buying a key but never opening the door. You may know the rule, but you cannot communicate. The correct way is to study a small rule and use it immediately. Make a few sentences, say them aloud, or write them in your notebook. Listening to how native speakers use it is also very helpful. Another common mistake is memorizing words without listening. Many beginners learn lists of 50 or 100 words, but they do not hear how these words are pronounced. Why is this a problem? Because when you see the word on paper, you know it, but when you hear it in a conversation, it is confusing. The correct way is to listen to podcasts, watch videos, or use apps that read the words aloud. This way, your brain connects the word with its sound and meaning, and you can use it naturally. Some learners make the mistake of thinking too much about what tense to use. For example, they stop speaking because they are unsure if it's present simple, present continuous, or past simple. Why is this a mistake? Because communication is more important than perfect grammar. The correct way is to try to speak even if it is not perfect. You will learn the correct tense naturally as you practice. The goal is fluency first. Accuracy comes later. A big mistake is studying alone without practicing speaking. Some learners read books, write sentences, and memorize vocabulary, but they never speak. Why is this a problem? Because language is for communication, and if you don't speak, your brain cannot connect words and grammar in real situations. The correct way is to talk to yourself, record your voice, or speak with a friend or teacher. Even a few minutes a day make a huge difference. Another mistake is ignoring listening practice. Many beginners think reading and writing are enough. Why is this a mistake? Because listening is the first step to understanding real English. If you never listen, conversations feel confusing, and it is hard to answer naturally. The correct way is to listen every day. Podcasts, music, videos, movies, or simple stories. Listen actively. Repeat what you hear. Imitate pronunciation, and try to understand the meaning. Listening changes everything. Some learners also make the mistake of focusing on too many things at once. For example, they try to study grammar, memorize words, practice speaking, and watch videos all at the same time. Why is this a problem? Because your brain gets confused and you remember less. The correct way is to focus on one or two things a day, practice them well, and then add more gradually. Small, consistent steps are better than big, fast, chaotic steps. Many learners are also afraid of making mistakes. They think, I will speak only when I am perfect. Why is this a mistake? Because nobody learns without mistakes. Mistakes are like a mirror. They show you what to improve. The correct way is to speak, write, and listen every day and accept mistakes as part of learning. Confidence is more important than perfection at the beginning. Another common problem is studying without real-life context. Students often memorize sentences like, I am a student, or I like pizza, but they never use these sentences in daily situations. Why is this a mistake? Because English is alive when you use it. The correct way is to practice real sentences about your life. I wake up at 7. I drink coffee in the morning. I go to the park, and so on. Personal sentences stick in your memory and are easier to use naturally. Some beginners also compare themselves to others too much. They see someone fluent and feel, I cannot do it. Why is this a mistake? Because everyone learns differently at their own speed. The correct way is to focus on your progress. Even small improvements every day add up quickly. Consistency is the secret. Finally, a very common mistake is forgetting to review regularly. Learners study new things but never review old lessons. Why is this a problem? Because memory fades and all effort is lost. The correct way is to review every day. Words, sentences, grammar rules, and listening exercises. Small reviews make your learning strong and permanent. So, what can you do today to avoid these mistakes? Focus on listening, practice speaking, learn small grammar rules and use them, repeat words aloud, connect English to your real life, accept mistakes, and review regularly. These are simple habits, but they make learning easier, faster, and more fun. Here's your challenge. Choose 3 learning mistakes you make, write them down, and apply the correct way every day for 1 week. Listen to a short podcast, speak 5 minutes aloud, write a few sentences about your day, and review one small grammar point. Then observe the difference. You will notice that your English feels more natural, more confident, and more alive. Remember, learning English is a journey, not a race. Avoid these mistakes, practice every day, and celebrate small victories. Confidence, consistency, and daily listening make the real difference. And of course, don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment with your learning experience. Share your progress with us because every time you practice, every time you correct a mistake, you are one step closer to speaking English confidently. Keep learning, stay motivated, and we'll continue bringing more episodes to help you improve your English, expand your vocabulary, and feel confident every day.